Okay, we're doing set 15, focus on parallel structure, which means things in lists match, sexism, which means we try to stay gender neutral if we can, and wordiness, which is too many words. First one, after always means you're going to have a comma somewhere, so after World War II, comma, okay, introductory phrase. And of course, World War II, World War should be capitalized. It's a fact that this is wordiness, you don't really need that. We could just say, after World War II, a great amount of women. We've talked about this before with fewer and less. It's the same with amount and number. If it's items that can actually be counted off one by one, like people or women, it's going to be number. So a great number of women left jobs in Americas. Of course, America needs capitalized, and there's only one America here. And whose factories? Well, America's factories, so it's possessive S. Now this one, we're just making it plural, so change the Y to I and add ES. Women left jobs in America's factories and professions to become full-time, not wives, not wives, but wives with a V, mothers, and they kept households running. So we have plural noun, and then we have a whole subject and predicate here. So we need to make that match that. So wives, mothers, and let's say homemakers is a plural noun for someone who keeps a household running. So now it's wives, mothers, homemakers. They match. That's parallelism. Next one, man's attempts. Well, this, first of all, it should be apostrophe S. But man's, we mean people, humans. So we want to not be sexist because women attempted to get rid of slavery also. So we try to avoid man and mankind when we're talking about that now. So we'll make it, how about just people? Human beings would work too. Peoples, and same thing, apostrophe S. Attempts to get rid of slavery before the Civil War. Civil War should be capitalized. Included debates, comma, we have a list going on. Conventions, comma, novels against slavery, comma, proposed laws, comma, and then here we have something that doesn't match. Someone took an anti-slavery case before the Supreme Court. So let's say anti-slavery Supreme Court cases. Right? Now we've got conventions, novels against slavery, proposed laws, cases, anti-slavery cases. Right? Makes more sense. Matches. Called parallelism. Next one. Mary Tate. This is a positive, which needs set off with commas. A stewardess. Right? Another name for her. And we don't say stewardess anymore. We try to avoid gender-specific names for jobs both men and women have. So let's say flight attendant. Is chairman. Notice that. Whoops. Sorry about that. Notice the man part of chairman. So that's sexist. We'll just say is chair. Chair is enough. You could say chairperson if you don't like chair. But those all work. We'll say chairperson. Of the parents' council. Okay. Don't think they want this. I don't know if they want this capitalized or not, but whose council? The parents' council. So we definitely want, it's probably plural and possessive, so leave the S, put the apostrophe afterwards. And usually that's like somebody who actually counsels, like a counselor would counsel you. We want the noun group of people counsel, and that's that one. Which here's complaints. We've got a list, gives advice, so verb phrase, and is running. So now we've got a different kind of verb phrase. So how about hears, gives, runs. Make it all match. Whoops. Sorry again. Next one. Betty Friedan's book, The Feminine Mystique. So this one, we want to underline the feminine mystique. Now we have an explanatory phrase published in 1963. We could get rid of that, so you put commas around it. Inspired a second wave of the women's movement. Whose movement? The women's movement. So it's going to be, that S is on there to make it possessive. Inspired a second wave of the women's movement in the United States. Run-on sentence right here, so we have lots of ways to fix it. Semicolon is probably the simplest, but you could also put a period and start a new sentence. This movement, and here we have a problem with had laid dormant. This is where it's lain. This is hard. It's a irregular verb. You can look these up. If you just Google irregular verb chart, you'll see things like this. If you don't know it, maybe it just doesn't sound right, look it up or ask someone. Had lain dormant since, we're talking about time, so it's going to be since. Obviously, we're not going to say girls, we're going to say women. Earned the right to vote in 1920. Next one. Scientists, they say that in the future. How about just scientists? There's no reason to do that. Scientists say that in the future to come, well, all future is to come, so let's just say in the future. This is all wordiness. You may dry your clothes, we spell this type of clothes like this, in a microwave dryer and dry a whole, this means the entire, which is this one, load in 5 or 10 minutes time. Well, 5 or 10 minutes time, of course 5 or 10 minutes is time. So let's just say 5 or 10 minutes. So scientists say that in the future you may dry your clothes in a microwave dryer and dry a whole load in 5 or 10 minutes time. I believe that is all correct. Good job.